The Cry of the Moon. There was once a woman named Wanjiru who lived in a small village near the rolling hills of central Kenya. She was known for her kindness, her laughter, and the way she made her home warm and full of love. When she married Kamau, the man she loved, the whole village celebrated. They were happy together, and their home was filled with joy. But everything changed after Wanjiru gave birth to their first son, Maina. At first, Kamau was excited to be a father. He held the baby proudly, showing him off to his friends. But as the days passed, he became distant. He stopped talking to Wanjiru the way he used to. The warm smile he always had for her faded. Then came the anger. It started with small things. If the food was not ready when he got home, he would raise his voice. If Maina cried at night, Kamau would complain that he could not sleep. He stopped helping with anything in the house. Then, the insults began. He called her lazy, useless. He told her she was not the same woman he had married. Wanjiru did not understand. She tried harder. She woke up earlier to cook, cleaned the house until her hands ached, and made sure Maina did not disturb his father. But nothing was ever enough. The man she loved had become someone she no longer recognized. Then, one day, he hit her. It was a slap, just one, but it left a mark deeper than the bruise on her cheek. She did not tell anyone. She believed he would stop. But he did not. The slaps became shoves, the words became sharper. The village whispered. The women noticed the sadness in Wanjiru's eyes, the way she covered her arms. Some told her to leave. Others told her to be patient, that men change after fatherhood. But Wanjiru had nowhere to go. Her parents had passed, and she could not imagine taking Maina away from his father. One night, Kamau came home drunk. He was angrier than usual, throwing things, shouting at her. She took Maina in her arms and ran. She did not know where she was going, but she ran until she reached the river. She sat there, the moonlight shining on the water, her tears falling into the river. She thought about jumping in. Maybe the river would take her pain away. But then, Maina stirred in her arms, his tiny fingers grasping her dress. He needed her. She could not leave him alone in this world. She stayed with an old woman from the village that night. The next morning, she took Maina and went to live with her aunt in another town. She started selling vegetables in the market, working hard to build a new life for herself and her son. It was not easy, but she felt lighter. She was free. Years passed. One day, as she was arranging her vegetables, she heard a familiar voice. She turned and saw Kamau. He looked older, thinner. His eyes were full of something she had never seen before, regret. Wanjiru, he said, his voice shaking. I am sorry. He told her how he had lost everything, his job, his friends, even his respect in the village. He had married another woman after she left, but she had left him too. He had been angry at the world, but mostly at himself. I was a fool, he said. I hurt the only person who ever truly loved me. Wanjiru listened. She did not cry, nor did she smile. She had dreamed of this moment for years, but now that it was here, it did not matter. She had healed. She had learned to stand on her own. She looked at Maina, now a strong boy with bright eyes. She took his hand and turned to Kamau. I forgave you a long time ago, she said. But we have moved on. She walked away, her son beside her, the sun shining on her face. And for the first time in a long time, she felt truly free.